Hello there, you beautiful exile. The molecules of my body are composed of 100% coffee, as shown in paper-reviewed research. Have you heard the good word of the cowgirl? I'm here to tell you exactly why right now in 3.22 you should be doing expedition. I have dedicated a portion of my skill tree specifically for expedition. Right here. Buried knowledge on this corner for increased quantity of logbooks dropped, and then you have this wheel right here that I specifically chose Tujin. However, we are going to get more into this later. For now, let me tell you why you should be doing it.
Hello, I like money.
Correct, there's a lot of money to be made in expedition. Mainly speaking, I'm talking about exotic coinage. If you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, allow me to demonstrate. We have right here the Path of Exile.trade. I'm going to talk about more things within this vein later, but let's go to bulk exchange for a second. Let's just say that the currency that you want is Chaos Orbs, right? You want some Chaos. Fair enough, we all do. It's the dollar bill of the Path of Exile. You can purchase some of the bulk of your pre-gear, etc., etc. And then what you the items that you have, you're going to choose expedition currency and then exotic coinage and then search. On average, 20 exotic coinages for 140 chaos. So that is one exotic coin per 7 chaos orbs. Just let that sink in. 1 for 7. That means right here, right now, I have 280 Chaos Orbs just in exotic coinage. And this was farmed within less than maybe an hour. Maybe 1 hour and a half, perhaps. And all that you do is you find yourself a logbook that you want to run, such as this one. And what you're looking for is Black Scythe Mercenaries. And then, of course, if you have things like, remnants have a chance of additional suffix, contain number of remnant monsters, the more juicy you can find, the better. You make it yellow, it's up to you. Whatever modifiers do you think you can handle, plus what you're gonna acquire within the expedition, that is all up to you. But now you might be thinking, area level 70. That means the mobs inside of this expedition are going to be level 70. Isn't that too low to drop anything good? That is where the magic happens. On average, while running low area level expeditions like 70, 75, I think the highest I've done was like 79. On average, I was taking out of the map 5 exotic coins if there wasn't a boss node to explode out of the ground. Whenever there was a boss node, that's when the fun happens. Because on an area level 70, with getting quantity, like a lot of quantity from the remnants, I killed Vorana for 14 exotic coins on a level 70 expedition. That is how powerful this is. It was a relatively easy to complete area. It was a relatively easy to kill Vorana with a massive, massive reward. Plus, of course, everything else that you're going to get from the map. You're going to get Tujin currency. You're going to get every other drop, map drops, scarabs, delirium orbs, depending on which area you choose, of course. So if I am truly to put in perspective everything that I farmed within those 2-3 hours, it was a bare minimum of 3 to 4 divines in a content that is very easy to do and that seemingly no one else wants to make. Now pay attention to this. If I go back and I search for Logbook faction Black Scythe Mercenaries, on average, you can find those logbooks even like levels, item level 74, which corresponds to the area levels sometimes. I was going I was going in looking for these people selling logbooks for 10 KOs, maybe even 5 KOs here. By the way, let's see if I can purchase it right now. Right, I waited a couple of minutes here, nothing. But anyway, assuming of course the person you want to purchase responds, and you find yourself like for 10 KOs, etc. Believe me, those are worth it. Because on average, if you come out of one of these with just 2 coins, you already made currency, already made money. If 10 KOs orbs to purchase a logbook, and you come out with 2 coins, if 1 coin is 7, and you're coming out with 2, that's 14 KOs. You made 4 KOs. But of course, that's not exactly how it works, right? You're going to be dropping coins, scarabs, delirium orbs, map fragments, and a bunch of other good things that you can always sell later, or just keep it to yourself if it fits your build, or run those fragment sets yourself, like, you know, map sets. It's literally up to you. There's, in my opinion, there are only benefits of doing this content. At the end of the day, if you are not into, if you don't want to sell, you just want to keep the currency for yourself, well, it's quite simple. You just go to the NPCs and go right ahead and haggle. Literally, Tujin, I've been haggling with Tujin as well. Like, every single click is 10 Chaos Orbs, but often he offers me maybe 12 Chaos Orbs, plus a bunch of other extra currency. I even purchased my first Divine Orb from Tujin. So there you go. 1 click, 10 Chaos. There you go. I already made money. There you go. 7, I made 3 Chaos right now. Just to prove a point. There we go. It's easy like that. It's easy money to be had. Of course, not every single time you re-roll his inventory, you're going to get something useful for you, or something good. For example, to me here, the rest is kind of mid. But at the end of the day, that's the nature of pretty much every mechanic. There's some RNG involved. In any case, if you don't want to deal with the RNG, every single coin is 7 chaos. You can just sell it. A little addendum. While even spending Astragali with Gwen, well, this is a mana stacking build. I have right now currently 6,287 mana. I purchased a POE ring, these 2 rings here, from Gwen. And the ring came out like this. Minus the quality. I've been adding that quality myself. But look, accuracy. It gave me accuracy tier 2, mana tier 2, life tier 1, rest tier 2, and mana regen tier 4. Mana regen I use on this build, makes a lot of sense. If it was more than tier 4, it was better. However, this was a random ring that Gwen sold me. She sold me with his modifiers. I didn't craft anything, I didn't add anything. She just gave it to me. If that is not value, I don't know what is. Not to mention, she can give you... Yes? She can give you unique items if you're lucky enough. Maybe right? You can get, like, maybe this becomes a thread of hope. Who knows? Like, you know, there are many things. Heavy belt, mage's blood. Who knows? You might also get something good. Another power ring. It's kind of mid, but that's... Her is pure gamble. That's all she does. And of course, you have Rog. Rog, if you didn't watch one of my previous videos, he crafted me one of the best helmets I've ever had the pleasure to wear. At the very least, on the low end of spectrums. Like, nothing fancy, like, you know, shaper influences to imbue the helmet with, like, you know, plus level 18 of a particular support gem, anything. Just a good, regular helmet. The content is relatively easy to do, especially if you're doing a level 70 like I am running around with it. And on top of that, just 10 chaos per expedition is not exactly expensive if you're making double or triple that every single time you come out of a map that has the Black Scythe mercenaries in it. Very important. And so from doing expeditions here, selling a couple of coinages there, stacked decks that I inevitably drop from those, or haggle from Tujin, I made myself around 400 chaos orbs and a couple more extra things here and there. So you can do this in whichever manner you feel like it. You can either haggle the coins yourself for Tujin for extra chaos orbs, and then you transform those chaos orbs into divine orbs, etc. Or just, if you don't want to perhaps lose your investment because it's technically a little RNG, just sell the coins, just pass the RNGs to somebody else. I'm quite sure that they probably have enough chaos anyway that it doesn't matter for them. And that's pretty much what my strategy is going to be for this league to make money. I'm just going to do Expedition. It's content that I enjoy doing, even while mapping. I think the rewards are sufficient, not to mention you get to choose what kind of difficulty and what kind of rewards you're going to get versus that difficulty while exploring the remnants. In my opinion, it's a good all-rounded content. The second best, in my opinion, would be to get logbooks or do expeditions that involve Denon. Why? Because Denon is a jack of all trades. While exchanging your currency with Denon, you can purchase currency for the other three. So essentially, he is a middleman between the others. And then getting his burial medallion allows you to re-roll his inventory. And of course, sometimes within his inventory, he sells you logbooks. So, I would imagine... It's funny, it's a logbook with 3 black sites. Well, what do you know? Anyway, that's the point. That's what I'm trying to say. Either Tujin or Denon would be the best ones, Rog being the next best one if you need to craft one thing or another. And then, of course, you have Gwen for the Astragali, which is just gambling. So if you're swimming in currency and you have nothing else to spend your money on, you can always go for Astragali, I suppose. And that about wraps it up, my fellow exiles. This is why I will be farming Expedition on most of my League 3.22 patch. It has been a couple of days since the last time I recorded anything for this particular video. Because I got distracted and I even changed builds. I'm no longer at the build that you saw in the video. I'm a totem build now. So, yeah. And of course, ever since then, I made probably about 10 extra divine orbs ever since. And I kept spending that money towards making new builds, etc. I don't usually currency don't stay in my stash for very long. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This is definitely not a tutorial of how to make 50 divines in 5 minutes. My idea here is to a more simple approach to Path of Exile. Instead of high investment, high reward, I like something a little bit more tame. Low investment, high reward. In terms of, you put in 10 KOs in, maybe you get 50 KOs out. Things like that. It's a little bit more of a casual approach to Path of Exile. It probably less time consuming. Then again, most of my VODs is about like 8 hours long, so that's the amount of time that I usually play the game. With all of that said, I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already. Ring the bell so to miss out the notifications on my channel. There is a join button if you're feeling extra cheeky. Become a channel member. You get channel badges, emotes, and more to come as the community grows. Those $2-3 extra dollars, they go a long way, trust. Leave me a nice comment down below, and hopefully I'll be seeing you, beautiful you, in the next one. Bye-bye. Another tier 16 boss added to the collection. How wonderful.